it's Hannah.
He's on his phone.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Everybody good?
Hello, all.
Good, thanks.
Everybody hear each other okay, or?
Yep.
It's kind of amazing technology, isn't it?
Incredible.
Well, welcome. I appreciate you all joining me. It's kind of short notice. I'm sorry about that. It's just kind of, I don't know. It just, 3 or 4 days, it just seemed like a thing to do. I kind of wanted to switch it up just a little bit. And since you guys are in lockdown, I thought it would be a good time to get everybody together.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah. So welcome, Friday Night Behind the Lens. I've had Andrew Hamilton on here before, and I've had Robert Bishop on here before. And I'll get to the rest of you eventually, I promise. All right. So, hey, I don't have any set agenda or questions tonight. I just figured we'd get together and talk life and photography and life.
Sounds good.
But I do want to.
A good topic.
I do want to ask one question because you guys just finished your first week of lockdown, basically. I think you went last week, right?
Ish. Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing? We just set a record here in the United States, like a world record for the most cases in a day. We had 125,000 new cases, and
wow.
We're 100% wide open, at least here in Florida. I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but I kind of feel your pain that you're in lockdown, but I kind of wish our government would do something to protect us a little bit. I think Robert and I started off talking about this last week. But what I guess I really worry is about everybody, not just your guys', but everybody's, how it affects the mental health aspect of it. It's got to be tough. This is your second lockdown in what, 4 months or so?
I don't know about all you guys, but I think for me, it definitely feels it's different. There is, it is lockdown, but it feels different. I think there's a little bit more leniency towards going out than there was perhaps last time, which I think is helpful for me anyway.
You do see
it's definitely
anyway, for definite.
Sorry, Paul, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I do see definitely a lot more people out and about. Like whenever I'm going out walking around, just to get out of the house, you do meet a lot more people, and then you seem to think like, well, what's the point in lockdown if we're all going to meet outside anyway?
There's no restrictions on the amount of time. I don't think.
No, there's no restrictions.
Like an hour.
So it's just restrictions on how many people you can do it with or who you can do it with?
Yeah.
There is. Yeah, there's some restrictions on that. So there's a whole plethora of different rules, but support bubbles, or if you're not in a support bubble, then it's +1, but that one person has to be from a 1 adult household. But then there's no real restrictions on time frame. As long as it's outdoors, there's no indoor connectivity allowed. I think that's kind of the crux of it.
But if I lived next door to you, Dave, if I lived next door to you, I couldn't come over to your back garden, right?
No.
No.
But I could talk to you over the fence.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, you could talk to me over the fence. Yeah.
6 feet, though.
That's the one.
Oh.
So we've just had a guy in our village who's just been fined £200 for going and having a cup of tea at somebody's house.
Wow.
So you're definitely not allowed to meet.
Now, how do they find out about that?
Maybe.
He definitely grassed up, wasn't he?
Andrew told them.
Last dialed numbers.
You get a little bit of a kickback if you turn somebody in?
No idea. I've not looked into it.
Hey, Ben, what about down your way? Is it the same down there as it is for some of these northerner guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is less of a shock this time around. I think the first time that we were locked down, it was like a bit crazy and no one really knew what to do, how to kind of react. But now it's not as strict. But I do feel for you, Paul, because at least our government is taking some sort of measure to kind of protect us, whereas I don't know why your government is doing nothing.
I think we all kind of know that.
I feel your pain.
Maybe the income.
Mate, I feel your pain.
Maybe the income.
But there's no like restriction on me going out. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just like there's no restrictions on us as photographers, as far as I know, that we can just kind of just go out and spend sort of recreational time. You just have to adapt kind of how well, for me anyway, after that's how I get there.
Yeah.
I'm either walking or on my bike, which is absolutely fine. I get more exercise. I'm healthier that way.
Are you guys going to start staying a little bit local?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, none of my photography's been out of the area. I've been kind of local anyway, so it hasn't really affected me that much. But hopefully I'll be able to travel further once we get over all of this.
Well, from what I've seen on your videos, luckily you all have great places you can go to locally, right? I mean, there's no shortage of things to photograph over there, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, I just moved up a week, about a week before COVID hit England and the lockdown started. I was living down in Windsor beforehand, and then I moved up to the Cheshire area. So I'm still kind of looking around and adventuring the whole place.
Yeah, because I heard you say
I still need my GPS to get into town, let's put it that way.
I mean, I heard you say that you needed to get out and explore your area more, Paul, right?
Yeah. It's like I live in the Macclesfield area, so like it's just on the border of you got Macclesfield Forest and everything, so that's quite huge. And I kind of tend to either walk there or the last 2 times I took the car, which was a lot better because I could spend a lot more time in around the forest and taking photos and exploring, because whenever I walk there, it takes about an hour and a half to walk there. By that stage, you're a little bit tired and then you got to walk around the forest, and time's ticking. You don't have a lot of time to spend. So
You're in a great area, Paul, there. I didn't realise you were from Macclesfield. I had no idea, not a clue.
Hi?
Yeah, Macclesfield Forest is lovely, and obviously you're right on the edge of the Peak District. You've got Wild Boar Clough. Fantastic spot.
Yeah, I want to go down and see what Thor's cave is like.
Yeah, that's nice.
What'd you say, Dave?
I said busy, Thor's cave, busy. Maybe not at the moment. It's good though. Yeah, definitely worth a visit, Paul. Definitely.
So,
I need to check it out.
So what do you feel like if you go out to do a vlog right now, it'll be a little bit less busy than it normally would in the places that you would go to? No,
Yeah,
no, definitely not.
Oh.
Yeah. People are just taking the opportunity to get out now, right? Because they don't have as
so
much
I was out
opportunity.
I was out Saturday morning and Saturday night. So on Saturday morning, I was on a golf course. Obviously, it's closed, but the number of people out and about just walking, taking the dogs out for a walk, it was crazy. And then the same at sunset. I've gone to a local spot that I know that I found during lockdown 1, and that was a public footpath. When I did my initial sunrise shot there was no one about. Do a sunset shot, and literally it was like trying to record was just a nightmare, because every time you started, somebody came over the hill and interrupted you. It was mad busy.
That's my there's people everywhere. Every time I want to vlog something, somebody comes around the corner or something.
That's why you got to get up at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, I was going to say that's why I prefer sunrise over sunset all day long.
I still got to master that, getting up early.
Yeah, but it's getting late
easier
now,
now,
isn't it? It's getting later.
Autumn, winter.
Dead easy now.
Getting up at sunrise here in Florida has the reverse effect, because we're on the east coast of Florida, so everybody wants to see the sunrise. So at night, the sunset doesn't really mean anything here on the east coast. You just can't really see it once it starts to go down. But like if you lived out in California, everybody flocks to the beaches for sunset, but nobody gets up on the west coast of California for sunrise. So yeah, even if I get up at the crack of dawn, which I do, there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll have the beach to myself, during like the blue hour and stuff. And then about 10 minutes before sunrise happens, they just come out of the woodwork. You can't win.
It's like that with sunset for me. And anywhere you go on I'm on the west coast, well, closest to the west coast. Yeah, sunset. Wow, he's unbelievable. That sun starts going down and people everywhere.
Andy Walton, where are you? Where are you located at?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, but I don't do a lot of sunrise photography because I'm usually taking my wife to work at about that time. She doesn't drive, so I end up driving the car kicking myself all the way there because the sunrise, and I'm driving and I can't do anything about it.
So your location's more sunrise than sunset if you were to get out, yeah?
Yes, I've done I think one sunrise shot, and that was last year sometime, and that was the only chance I got. If once winter kicks in a bit more, and the hours, the sunrise moves further into the morning, I'll be able to get out and do some, I think.
Yeah. And then what about Ben? You're in what, West London, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, West London. So I have to travel pretty much wherever I go, to be honest. It's quite a built up area. So I can see the sun rise about maybe 20 minutes before it goes down. But
Now, I don't know West London very well. Is that out past like Wembley in that area?
yeah, kind of. It's Ealing Broadway. If you were to look on a tube map, Ealing Broadway is where I'm nearest to.
We get some nice rooftop cityscapes during sunset and that.
Yeah, I have done previously when I could kind of feel morally okay about going on the tube, but right now, no. But I have done like night shoots from like St Paul's area, like when the tide is out. Obviously, I go right down onto the foreshore and shoot St Paul's and all of that, which is really good.
You get some nice shots down the Thames as well with the reflections of all the buildings and the lights.
That's it, yeah.
The skyline's really changed in London, hasn't it, over the last few years?
Crazy, mad, absolutely mad. Even in a matter of like 2 or 3 years, there are places that have just exploded with these like new high-rise buildings.
Yeah, I think I was there like 4 years ago, and I think the Shard, is that the pointed building?
Yeah.
I think that was the
one,
tallest at the time, but I think it's been surpassed now. Is that right?
I think so. I can't remember what it is that surpassed it, but yeah. I think the Shard still looks unfinished. There's a bit at the top looks like it's missing.
Oh, okay, Dave. What about you? Are you going to get out and do some stuff local in Manchester there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's different. I feel a little bit more. I didn't do anything last time. I didn't go out at all. I did a lot of stuff at home. Yeah, but like I say, this time feels a bit different. Just because there's less restriction on going out. I think it's been deemed as unnecessary travel. But actually, I was reading today because I headed over to a place, Fairy Glen, which Andrew gave me some info about actually, which is just in Wigan. So it's still Greater Manchester. So technically, it's in the same tier as me anyway. But I did a bit of research before I went out because I just wanted to check, and basically they recommended, the recommendation was within an hour of where you live, 40 minutes. So, and I was out there by myself, but it was interesting actually because there was, I was out there doing a little bit of photography, and yeah, it was really busy actually. It was really quite busy, which surprised me. But of course, what happens is people are not working the furloughed, so I think more people are like, well, let's take the opportunity to go into our local areas anyway. So I've got a nature reserve near me, and it's been packed for the last 4 days, just absolutely packed. And the car park's big as well, and you still can't get into it. So the appetite at the moment is let's get out whilst the weather's good.
Robert, what about you up there, Sheffield way? We have some connection.
Yeah, still trying to keep up to over the weekend. That's 20 minutes away from me, so that's pretty good. And yeah, there's plenty of like rivers and like rural areas nearby that I can go to. So I'm just going to try and keep it local if I can, and hang in till that vaccine comes, I think.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, they say coming soon, so we'll see.
Well, my president promised it by election day, and now we're about 6 days past, and I don't have a shot here in my arm yet. So
I bet everybody over there is buzzing with the election.
yeah, I'd never seen anything like it, and now he's trying to hinder the transition to power process, and it's just going to create havoc. It's unbelievable.
You think he's just stolen because because he doesn't fancy going to prison.
The president has the ability to pardon himself, apparently, and I don't know if that's exactly true, but I keep hearing that. So I don't know if he's going to issue a pardon for himself. I don't know if you can do that to encompass everything that you've done over the last 4 years, but that'd be nice if we all could do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Andrew Hamilton. So are you just going to explore around Warrington area, that local area? There's some lovely
So I'm a
places
bit
around
like-
there.
I'm a bit like Dave. So there's, I'm probably looking to travel maybe 40 minutes max, 45 minutes, something like that. When we came out of lockdown one, there were a lot of places that I found to shoot. So I'll be revisiting a lot of those. It was mainly just sort of, when you're looking at exploring locally, it was looking on OS maps, finding the footpaths, and then just taking that route down there and see what you could find. And that's when you uncover some hidden gems, really.
Now, have you guys thought about like doing like other things that really aren't like your forte, like getting out and shooting something that you don't normally shoot? Like I know Andrew Walton does some cool, he's done a couple cool graveyard things, and I'm really into the graveyards. I spend a lot of time in your graveyards when I come over there, and just because they're so old and so full of character, and they're usually like on the grounds of I don't want to say a cathedral, but a big church, and to be able to photograph stuff like that, something different than I would normally photograph, is it's a lot of fun. So does anybody have plans to do something different with their photography over the next few weeks, or
Might try some street photography. We'll see how that goes. Maybe some like point of view style street photography. But I'm talking about in terms of like the video that I make from it. But it all depends on what you see on the streets. If you don't see anything that interesting whenever you go out, then it's kind of like hit and miss. I think when you're planning like landscape or woodland or nature photography, you kind of can almost not guarantee, but what you're going to. Whereas I think maybe going out on the streets, I have no idea what I'd be getting a photo of, really. So It could be interesting.
And it's more difficult to film in front of people. Well, for me at least, anyway, I find that distracting.
No, it is.
Yeah, I did a bit of street photography, and there was no way I was vlogging in front of people. Did the photographs, and then came and sat on the couch and told everybody what I did, and here are the photographs.
Dave, I saw one of your videos where you were at was it Salford Keys? Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you were vlogging, and did you have a lot of people walking by you? It seemed like that was kind of a busy area.
Yeah, I find that the camera attracts people anyway. Geez, it's like, they think you're filming a TV program. And I'm like, yeah, no, YouTube. How many thousands of subs have you got? Go away. So, but you know what? I've been doing this now. I've been talking to myself in a camera for a year and a bit now. So I'm kind of I remember somebody telling me right at the start, you'll get past it. And I found it really difficult for about 7 or 8 months. And then it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm not, to be honest with you, I was in the Lake District last week, and there was people everywhere. It certainly felt like it. And I realized it was only really at the end that I realized I'd not really noticed them. So, but it took time. It's I think 40 something videos published, and probably 20 on top of that have not used or have not done anything with, of going out and talking to myself. And finally got to the point where I'm all right with it.
I think it does take time to get more comfortable in front of the camera. Like if you were to look back at your very first video that you've ever done in front of a camera, how shy and stiff you were in front of it, trying to get your point across whenever you would consider yourself as an outgoing guy. But then like whenever you put a camera in front of your face, you kind of budge up. But it does take time to get comfortable with it. Like it took time to get comfortable behind the camera, taking photos. It's going to be the same way, in front of it. So,
all right. Anybody else going to do something different with their photography during lockdown?
Landscape stuff, because I don't really do landscape stuff. So I might turn it around and find something interesting to take a shot of.
I'm totally fascinated by Andy Walton's channel. Just some of the cameras and lenses that he uses. It's just incredible. I'm thinking, how's he going to come up with a picture of, you know, using that lens or whatever. And then he comes up with this, you know, they're always so kind of dark and mysterious to me, you know, they all have that vignette to it, and I love it.
A Holga lens, yeah, a little plastic lens. It's a load of rubbish, really, but it's limited.
They make filters around that now, though, the Hoya filters. Like it's a sought after look, isn't it?
It is. It's very much a strange phenomenon, really. You take your sort of £2,000 camera and you stick a £15 plastic lens on the front and take rubbish photographs.
How much does that little plastic lens cost?
That one for the Olympus cost £12, but they go up to, I think, £50 for some of the full-frame Sonys.
Tried in the Lens Baby lenses.
Yeah, quite fancy getting a hold of the Spark, which is a little plastic one with your twist.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've not tried them, but they look quite interesting. You get some funky effects.
Definitely, yeah, my type of thing. Like.
Is that the lens that you use when you photograph the graveyard, Andy?
No, that was the I did the Instax, which is the instant camera, and the other one, the first one where I had a few graveyard shots. Yeah, that was a Holga lens.
But you also put some kind of fisheye on it too, didn't you?
That was the I just held the kind of cheap fisheye adapters, and I just held that in front of the camera lens, sort of shot through it.
Yeah, when I first started out with photography, I had an 8mm. God, I can't even remember who makes it now. But you can really do some cool stuff with fisheyes. I mean, it's kind of, you know, especially if you're doing the horizon, you know, it curves the horizon and stuff. But, you know, like I would go down to my local pier here, and it would elongate that pier, so it would look like it would stretch all the way out to the horizon. You know, just really cool effects, but obviously kind of novelty too.
They're the type of lens that you buy and then you never use after sort of 3 or 4 times. It just sits there on the shelf.
Yeah.
All right, and Andrew Hamilton, you're quiet.
Yeah, I was just thinking then, like, somebody commented on one of my pictures the other day about they've never shot trees before, and I said there's like nothing other than trees on my last probably 10 or 15 posts, and it's been just total trees. I think part of that's to do with like the conditions that we've had. You know, Robert, you got the mist, didn't you? And there's nothing better than doing. Yeah, you finally got it, but there's nothing better than doing the woodlands in the mist. And I was lucky. You know, probably about a month ago, I got a sunrise with the mist as well. So I think for me, I'm still going back through my Lake District stuff. I've still got, I think, 3 more videos to launch yet from the stuff I did in the lakes.
Wow.
So I'm playing a bit of catch up. So I've got 3 videos from there. I've got one from Saturday, which I've just finished it, or just about finished editing today. And so it's like juggling everything in terms of the back stuff that I've got, keeping an eye on the weather. I've got a list of places that I want to shoot locally. I was talking to Dave, it was probably a couple of weeks ago, maybe more. We were talking about getting to Manchester, weren't we, and doing like some architectural stuff or street stuff, really, or nighttime stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you guys, but I spend quite a lot of time just Googling and just looking. I jump on Google Street Maps, especially when people
Google
dropped.
Maps is probably, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say Google Maps is the tool that I use probably the most in terms of like looking for a location or a place.
So like when I was looking in lockdown 1, when I was looking for footpaths to walk, you know, there are some guys that go out with these, I don't know what sort of cameras they are, but they record like the Google cam cars. And so people walk footpaths with these cameras, so you can actually see what it looks like along the footpaths, which is great. So that's great for, you know, location scouting and hunting, especially when you want to keep it local.
Does anybody use photo pills?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to get that. That looks really good.
Yeah, it took me a little while to figure it out, but now that I figured it out, I mean, it's an amazing tool. Kind of place you use that kind of. I use it in kind of coordination with like Google Maps or Google Earth, and that way I can just pinpoint a place, especially if I've never been there before. I can kind of scout it out without actually going there, and know exactly where the sun's going to rise or the sun's going to set. And, you know, just using those kind of two apps has just really been beneficial, you know. Saved me
the photographer's ephemeris before I got photo pills, and that does all the tells you where the sun and moon's going to be and everything, and that's free. So that's really good, but it just doesn't include all the extra stuff that's in photo pills, like the you know, the AR stuff you've got for the Milky Way and things like Astro. That's amazing. That's built into photo pills. You can just hold it up and it tells you where the Milky Way is going to be. You can actually see it, you know, on your phone when you hold it up.
That I can never say it. The ephemeris. That's not free on the phone, though, is it? Is that just the desktop app that's free?
I got it, unless it's changed now. I got it for free.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just.
I paid for my mobile version.
Yeah.
Unless I paid for it and didn't realise. Possible.
What's it called? I didn't hear what it was called.
The photographer's
ephemeris.
Okay. Anybody else?
There's TPE and TPE 3D. So the 3D version is really, really good.
Okay.
Anybody use anything else to help scout out locations or conditions before they go out?
Clear outside. That's a good one.
Yeah.
There's a brilliant tip by Andrew actually recently with the dew point and the you know, to check for the fog. So I never realised that before. So I was always looking at the you know, the reading for fog, and it's always 0. But yeah, Andrew pointed out that you can check like the what is it, the dew point and the temperature, and if they're similar.
If the temperature and the dew point are the same and the humidity is above 90%, you've got a strong chance of mist or fog.
Yeah.
So how accurate is that on clear out? Do you find that's pretty accurate? Does it ever? I've never seen it show fog on mine.
Yeah. So the last 3 out of 4 times I've been out, we've had mist. So, but you know, I think you'd have to count them on a larger time frame than just 4, wouldn't you? But 3 out of 4 the last time. Say again.
I downloaded it on the basis of you saying that.
All right, yeah.
I did. I just thought that's a great tool.
Yeah, no, it's good. Saturday morning, you know, it was predicted mist, and because the golf courses are closed, obviously you're going to get no golfers out there. So it's local to me. It's literally 2 miles down the road. I thought trees, mist, nobody on there with a 9-iron. Happy days, get out, and lo and behold, you know, it was fantastic. The only problem was I didn't do any vlogging, because I was running around like a headless chicken because the mist was so good. It's one of those scenarios where you just, you know, you have to get the photograph first.
I found clear outside to be really accurate for me here. I don't know if it's the same all over the world, but, you know, I live about 4.5 miles from the beach, and my weather at home can be completely different than it is at the beach. There may not be a cloud in the sky. I think, well, I'm not going to go out, you know, even though it says that there's, you know, some high clouds and medium clouds, but I can't see them from where I'm at because we're so flat. But then I get down there and it's always bang on accurate. Anybody else have
the biggest challenge, isn't it, for us? Because you can't. Yeah, I went out Saturday night and everything was looking on for a really good sunset. Even when you just looked up at the sky, you know, there's a lot of mackerel type cloud about. It was looking really, really good. And you just get out there, that dreaded low bank of cloud on the horizon comes across, and you're absolutely stuffed. And you know, bang goes the sunset that you're planning. But it's the way it goes, isn't it? It's coming back to your video that you just done, Paul. It's all about getting outside, isn't it? If you're out, you're out. Right? You're not going to get the shot, are you? So you've just got to keep going out.
Yeah, I can't get any shots sitting from my patio at home, so might as well get out there and see what I can get. You know, Dave, I know you've been stuffed by Mamtor about what 3 or 4 times before you're finally getting something.
Yeah, and it was it was the same. You plan the night before and looks great, and yeah, you get there and that low bank of cloud. But as I think I've said it a few times, this is the UK. It's doing landscape photography in the UK. You know, we're under about 5 different weather banks. Weather fronts, it's changeable. It is what it is. That's the beauty of it. The challenge and the excitement.
All right, guys. So we're at about 35 minutes. So we're kind of running out of time for this first session. So is everybody okay with taking like a 10-15 minute break and then coming back for another half an hour or so?
Yeah.
And then for anybody watching on YouTube, this is the end of part 1, and then we'll see you again in about 1 week. It's only 15 minutes our time, but it'll be 1 week your time from when you're watching this.
So we all change clothes.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Bye.